right, y'all.
Live.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Bro.
All right, boom. We are good. All right, so going. Nope. There we go. All right, boom. So, CR York here. We're going to be talking today about trademarks, copyrights, logos, and how you protect your rights. I've got a gang of crazy individuals, crazy enough to start in this music industry and be in the industry for a long time. I appreciate you guys hanging out and keeping me company here. I do believe that this is going to be beneficial for everybody. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so that you guys can see the presentation and Windows. Bam. All right. Let me know if you guys can see that. You guys able to see it? Perfect. All right. So, like I said, we are going to do a artist masterclass here. It's going to be the logo, branding, and copyright basics. So this is for you guys to be able to transform your brand and your art. Transform your art into a thriving brand. It's going to help you to monetize your art as well as build up your brand, and also at the same time, of course, protecting your work, which is crucial. So what we're going to go through today is the self-assessment. We're going to assess your current state versus where you'd like to be. There's 6 categories for artists that I think are important, so we're going to look at those. Then we're going to go ahead and go to your brand archetype, and we're going to run through that really quickly, not being overly critical or detail oriented on that one, just so you can get an idea of what a brand archetype is. We're going to work on you guys' elevator pitch, so you should have a 10-second, 30-second, and minute-long pitch after the end of this, so that you could, when you're networking and everything, you're not taking an hour to be able to tell your story. We're also going to talk about legal protections such as the master copyright, the trademark, the royalty basics to protect your creative assets, and then we're going to move into monetization, explore different ways or different income streams, and how strong branding increases that revenue. And then we're going to actually leave you with an action plan, a roadmap for immediate action, and steps to transform that art career that you guys got. So, first up is we're going to do the spiderweb creativity chart. This is a chart that I had made up. It's actually going to be interactive on ownlane.com, OWNLN. That's the platform that we're going to be pushing. That is a platform for artists, by artists, designed to get independent artists further, faster. So, first thing I want to do is I want to ask, where you're at today. So when it comes to where you're at today, if one of you guys want to walk through this with me, whoever would like to volunteer, I'll use you for this first part, and then I'll use somebody else on the second.
I mean, I'm down.
All right. So these are going to be scored 1 through 6. If you write it down, you'll be able to compare your where you're at now to where you'd like to be. So I'd suggest it.
Alright, give me 2 seconds.
That's pretty much the only writing portion.
Yeah.
All right, so we got King B. King B's out of the down under. And what's the name of the town you're in?
What's the area of time?
What's the area?
I'm from Ballarat, Victoria. It's close to Melbourne, so we run by Melbourne time. It's about 1:31 here in the it's lunchtime. So
okay, lunchtime.
Afternoon.
Okay, I was like, is that in the morning or? It's 8:30 here in the central. So, all right. So, King B, when it comes to creativity, do you feel that you're fulfilled? Do you feel like you're, and this is a 1 through 6 rating, do you feel like you've reached the peak of your creativity?
No, I think a bit of confidence holds me back a little bit. Like I think some things I could do better if I had better equipment too. But I definitely think my creativity doesn't lack any more than it did last year or the year before. Like I haven't lacked in creativity. I've just, evolved a bit.
All right. So
and
where would you say you're at
got
one
better
through?
ideas.
Where would you say you're at 1 through 6?
Like as in one being the worst case
Yes.
scenario and 6 being the best.
Yes.
I'd say a solid 4.
Solid 4. Okay. I mean, I've seen you putting out quite a bit of work lately, especially using the social media as your outlet.
Yeah, yep.
So okay, so we got 4 there, and then when it comes to networking, making industry connections and growing your fan base, would you say 1 through 6? Where do you fall into that range right now?
I think I struggle with a bit of arrogance these days, maybe a little bit. I'm a little arrogant in some ways, but yeah, I'd say a 2. Like I'm not doing the best these days. Like I had a solid name for a long period, and a lot of people have my name in their mouths, and uh, I'm not doing that as much these days. I'm not doing shows. I'm not really doing battles or anything like that anymore. So I'd say a 2.
Okay, so that's definitely somewhere we aim to increase. Now, what about finances? As far as your income stability, your pricing confidence, financial system supporting the art, how are you doing there?
Man, I'd say nearly not even a 1. Like
That is a lot of artists,
we all
unfortunately.
need more money on that.
That's a lot of artists, not being able to monetize their art. So
I'd say
we're gonna
like
work on
yeah,
that.
0.5 to a 1, man.
Oh
Like
man.
at the like, I'll have peaks and I'll have downs, and when my downs, they're massive downs. Like I was talking about this literally not that long ago. I I'd say the money I've spent like on equipment, VSTs, plugins, like education, artwork, getting music done with mixing and mastering from producers when I didn't know what I was doing. I've spent like $2,500,
Yeah.
bro.
I mean, dude, that's a drop in the bucket, man. It gets pretty intense here. I'm actually waiting on. I do have Aisha coming through here in just a second, or Miss Naira Knox.
Like, don't get me wrong though. As much as it's a bad thing, I wouldn't take it back for the world. Like I love making music, and if people don't want to like and comment and share and help me grow, like man, I'll find that audience. Just give me a few years, I'll save up some money, and I'll just buy advertisement. You know what I'm saying? Get proper marketing, like from I don't know. I'll go on Lyrical Lemonade or something. I don't give a fuck. Like
Dude, that is a real thing. Like the buying your way in is a way, but we're gonna make it to where that's not even a thing. We're gonna make it to where we can actually,
do it ourselves.
yeah,
Yeah,
do it
yeah.
100% on our own. So you don't have to you don't have to depend on another entity to get you to where you want to be. So, what about the marketing? When it comes to marketing, are you pushing it? Do you feel like you're doing a good job at that? 1 through 6.
I went through a big period where the music spoke for itself, and I had a lot of shit content out that was popping off. I had a big pause period in the last year, and coming back to it and being more consistent than I've ever been has been really hard. I'm actually struggling a little bit, and I wouldn't say it's algorithms because I don't like to use the algorithm, but it's like my audience are like, I don't know, not all there, not seeing it. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
So it's a bit hard. I'm trying to figure out ways. Like I've worked with a few bigger artists and stuff like that over the years, and like I'm thinking about doing it again, possibly just to get some spotlight and then go my own way and do my own thing. You know what I mean? But like I've opened up for Mad Child and Cogs. Like I've done a fair few big things that should have made me pop off, but I got comfortable and wasn't consistent after those things. Now that I know that I need to be consistent, it's very hard to come back from the year that I've taken off, if that makes sense.
oh, it definitely makes sense because everybody takes off, some time just in order to try and get to a certain point. Like, because you get burned out when you're sitting here just pushing and pushing and pushing, and you're not getting the results that you're looking for. So that's really where the marketing does come in. But a lot of people aren't aware of the simple things they can do, the free things they can do. So we definitely want to work on that because that's marketing is half of this, if not more than half of the business. The last part there is going to be personal growth. On a scale of 1 to 6, do you feel like you're growing personally, like spiritually, or just educationally? Just are you doing the
I'd say
personal
a
side?
solid 5 with
Oh,
personal growth.
so you're
Over
doing
the
really well.
last year, I cut off a lot of bad connections. I've made new connections. Like that's why I said my networking. It's not horrible, but I could do better because like I have made connections and stuff, but I had a bad trot with mental health and stuff, and I realized that I was the problem, and it was hard to comprehend. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So
went through a big period where I was like, all right, I need to fix myself, and then I'm at uni now. I'm studying, doing a bachelor degree in music production, so I'll be a qualified producer soon. I'm actually thinking about doing my postgraduate too, so I
yeah,
can teach somewhat.
that's awesome. As far as personal growth goes, I mean that's a great way to grow personally, to get that experience in, and then have an actual, even if you have the knowledge, having the piece of paper that people respect is sometimes it's a really big deal to other people, but it makes you feel good regardless because it is an accomplishment to do any post education, like any post high school education. So big ups
I'm
to you
not
on
even
that.
gonna lie, I kind of did it out of a manic. I was going through a bit of a moment. No one was really speaking to me in the family, so I just went, "Fuck it, I'm going to uni. I'm gonna show all of you."
Show you. All right.
But
Well, so
hey,
what I want you to
man,
do.
it's worked out so well.
So what
I
I want
like
you to
it.
do now is I want you to go through and ask yourself, um, where you'd like to be on these different topics, and we'll just go through and do the numbers. And all this is used for is for you to see where you're at and where you really need where you need to work at. And it seems so simple. It's like, of course I knew that I needed to work on marketing, yes, but where you at versus where you want to be is, when you can see it, you can also see the gap. When you do the same thing in about 6 months, you'll go, okay, so I've made some leeway here. And it's all based on self judgment, because we all have our own feelings on how well we're doing and not. So just to go with the numbers here, so go creativity first. 1 through 6, giving yourself that numeric rating. Then
Yeah, four
four.
for creativity. Networking, a 2.
You want to
Um,
be at a 2?
oh, I want to be at a 2. I thought we were talking what we already
No,
spoke.
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
my bad, my bad. Um, creativity. I don't want to be too creative. Like I'm already somewhat that does me bloody head in. You know what I mean? So I'd say a good 5.5. Like
Okay.
I'd like to at least be close to perfect.
Yeah, and that's
You'll
reasonable.
never hit a 6, but I want to be close to it. So
I'm one of those people that
I'd
don't
say a
believe in.
6,
Yeah, I don't believe in
6 for
perfect scores.
creativity.
All right. So what about
Um,
networking?
networking. I don't want to be riding everyone's dick, but at the same time, like I need to be. Like I'm pretty slack on supporting the homeboys and that too. Like I just don't get on my phone as much as I should. So I've
Actually,
actually said it to a mate today that I'm gonna start doing it. Like I feel bad. It's happening to me, and now I understand. Like it's a shit feeling.
well, here's what I want to do.
So
I meant to actually jump over to somebody else for the second answers. I do appreciate the answers that you provided though, because like that's a lot of people feel the same way when it comes to grading their selves. So, um, who else?
yeah, you're right. You're
So
right.
who else wants to jump on for the where they'd like to be? Steer. I can't actually see y'all yet because I'm on the screen.
Yo,
Yo, yo. Hey, so Jay Stu, the man, the myth, the legend, Kilisimi. Uh, where do you think you'd like to be when it comes to creativity?
um, well,
And it's referring to your creative output, really. Because I mean, I know that you are putting quite a bit out with your D&D, with Twisted House coming out with a lot of stuff, with What to Do Crew.
yeah, well, in terms of like the stuff that I've been putting out, I mean, we got a lot of stuff on the back burners, but there's never a shortage of creativity, man. I'm always got ideas brewing. I'm always working on something, dude. Like, but it's just that I think my project management is a little wonky. Like I feel like I got a lot of stuff going on, and there's just a lot to do. But I'm hoping by the end of this year, I'll have my own tabletop RPG developed that we're going to be doing play tests.
That is awesome. That right there is huge. So you got, so from music to D&D to your, the channels that you run to your music career. So it sounds like creative output isn't really so much a problem as, well, I'm sorry, the creativity isn't a problem so much as the actual output and what's getting out there.
Right.
So that's definitely
I would say.
So I'm gonna say that you're up there in the where you'd like to be with all your endeavors is probably somewhere in the range of 5.5 to 6. What about networking wise? Where would you like to be when it comes to networking? Like your fan growth, your growth in your creative network.
So in terms, okay, so I guess we could go little by little. Then I guess in terms of growth, it's been really slow going. Just trickles of new followers coming in, and that's because we haven't really posted as often as we'd like to. Like there's 7 of us in our group, so it's hard for us all to get together to be able to bulk up on content and stuff. Um, but yeah, we're all like pretty invested and pretty involved in like being that there's 7 of us. We're all working on our own ends, doing our own sort of promo and stuff like that. One of our friends, she's a great editor too. So she's been helping out a lot with some videos that we're going to be putting out pretty soon. Um, but yeah, like being that we're such a big group, we do have a lot of we kind of spread out in terms of like our fan base and stuff. And they're actually really involved. We still get comments on some of our old videos
Not where you're at,
from
where you'd like to be.
where would we like to be? Oh, shoot. I would like to actually really get into the field of like big shot gamers and stuff like that. Um, and there's a dude he lives in Jacksonville. He's like one of the first content creators that I started watching. He also does music, and he does like D&D, a bunch of D&D content, and he's a sick rapper, bro. I know I've told you about him before,
Yeah.
but
I've looked him up.
uh, he's making his own tabletop RPG, and I think he's working on a new album too right now. So um,
So you'd like to network with him. You'd like to. So what I'm hearing is that you want to meet up with new creators, people that are already in the space, and
yeah, I'd like to do some sick collabs, man.
so I mean that's definitely in the range of 5 or so. Like maybe even, I mean, possibly 4, depending on how much. Because you said you already have a network that's actively working. It's just a matter of maximizing it, right?
Oh yeah, we're going to a Ren Fair next week.
Nice.
Next weekend, we're going to Space Coast Ren Fair. It's supposed to be huge.
Well, I know y'all gang up on that one. Like y'all tend to gang up and jump on the Ren fairs.
Yeah.
I've seen the content.
Yeah, because
What
we
about
do cosplay. We also do cosplays, so we'll do like videos as like our characters and stuff. So it's so fun.
so what about when it comes to finances? Like where would you like to be when it comes to finances 1 through 6? Meaning your
Oh man,
stability and your confidence in your actual financial systems. Like would you say that
I
you're
would like to be, I would like to be at a 6 in finances, but I'm more on the lower end. I'd say. Okay, I'm in between jobs right now. I'm looking for a new job.
that's the current, but if that's something that's a priority, then you'll see the difference or the disparity between where you're at and where you'd like to be, and that means you need to really put the focus
Yeah.
there, and that's what this
Well,
exercise is all about.
you know, I've had a lot of extra time on my hands too, so I've been trying to finalize a lot of shit that I've kind of, you know, brushed to the side. I'm trying to finish up some of that stuff so we can put it out, you
Yeah,
know.
and that's how that is going to help. You know, OwnLane is going to help to maximize that, not only the content but the finance side of it. So so we'd like to be at a 6. What about the marketing itself, like actually pushing out and getting the stuff out there? Where would you like to be in, say, let's call it a year from now? Where would you like to be in marketing?
Um well, right now we do a lot of our marketing and stuff is like word of mouth. So like I have a stack of business cards that I just keep in my wallet, and anytime I get to talking to somebody, I'm like, here, check this out. I just did a couple of classes the other day for my driver's license and stuff,
Yeah.
and I gave out like 5 cards, and 3 people followed. So
So you're
um
relying on the hand to hand. Are you putting any efforts into the digital side, like into either funds into it or anything? Any efforts into marketing online?
no, I haven't we get solicited all the time. Like we'll get messages from people to uh
I hate it. I hate the
promote for
constant.
us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We do all of our own promotions and everything. It's
Yeah.
just and it's not really it's not really a financial thing like in terms of like money, but like, you know, time is money, you know what I mean? So if if we have to spend the time to make a promo video or something personal to promote promote our brand or a live stream or a new big video or something like that, then it really just takes us the time to do it. But you know, like I said, time is money.
Well,
So
there's only two ways to grow to grow in this business, and it's either it's going to be sweat equity, which is the time that you put into it, or you're going to put the money into it. That's the only two ways to grow. So it's you're putting the time in. You might look at the option of putting money into it at a later date, or at least within the next year to grow that. So marketing wise, do you want to be at a 4, 5, 6?
um well, and for marketing, I would probably like to move it up a couple of notches by the end of this year. Probably get it up to maybe a 4 or 5.
Okay.
Like I don't even think we're at that right now. We're probably around like a 2 or 3.
Okay.
But if we could get it up to at least a 4 or 5, I think we'll be doing good.
Okay. So when it comes to the last section, which is personal growth, what would you say your personal growth like? What are you looking for in that area? Like, where would you like to be a year from now in your personal growth?
Hmm. There's always room for personal growth, I would say. Um, personally, there's always things to improve on, but in terms in terms of we talking this year
I mean, in a year,
or
by
all?
January of next year. You know what I mean?
I think I could get it up to a 4 or a 5.
And that's purely based
Um,
on your own, um, your own how you're seeing yourself and how you're seeing your growth and where you'd like to be. Some people think that they're doing really well in personal growth, and some people not so much. So um, I appreciate the answers on that, because that helps us to see. Again, this exercise is just to show you where you're at and to see where you want to be and give you a visual idea, and so that you know where it is that you need to work in these realms to get your artistic abilities and or well, really, your art up. So I appreciate that very much. We're going to go ahead and move to the next thing, which is the brand archetypes. So I'm going to go through and read a little bit of these so that you can maybe get an idea. The way that I like to perceive this, and this is something that you just you write down. Maybe Bob, um, if you're still up for it. So I'm going to read through these. What I want you to think about is, so this is like, I'd say it's like maybe 75% is the main one, then maybe 20% is the secondary, and then there's like 5% where I'm like, yeah, I'm a little like that. So I'm going to read through these, and I want you to pick 3 to be your main, the second, and the third. All right, so there's 12 of them. So we're gonna go with the creator. So the creator is somebody that's innovative, visionary. They're driven. They're driven to make something new. So artists who push boundaries and define trends. Then there's the lover, which is passionate, sensual, creates intimacy. Artists who explore relationships and beauty and human connection. Then there's the caregiver. They're nurturing, they're protective, they serve others. Artists that heal, they support, and they also create safe spaces through the work. Then you have the rebel, which I'm betting that that's one of yours. Disruptive,
Yep.
raw, challenges the status quo. Artists that provoke thought and defy conventions. That seems pretty accurate. So the jester is somebody that's playful, spontaneous, lives in the moment. They're artists who are use humor and surprise to entertain and enlighten. Then there's the hero, which is courageous. They're determined. They overcome obstacles. They're artists who inspire through triumph and resilience. The sage, which is wise, thoughtful, seeks truth. Artists who educate, analyze, and share their deep insights. The everyman, which is relatable. They're authentic. They're down to earth. They're artists who connect through shared experience and honesty. Then there's the innocent, which is optimistic, pure, seeks simplicity. The artist who reminds us of the wonder, nostalgia, and basic goodness in people. The magician, which is transformative, mystical. They make dreams real. Artists who create immersive and otherworldly experiences. The ruler, which is authoritative, polished. They set standards. They're artists who lead movements and command respect. And then finally the explorer, which is adventurous, curious, seeks new experiences, and an artist who pushes boundaries and document the discovery. I have an idea of what I would say that you are, but this is about what you perceive yourself as.
Where's the fighter?
The
Where's
fighter?
the fighter at?
Oh, I'm gonna say that that's a cross between the. That would be a cross between the rebel and either the hero or the explorer. I'd say probably the hero.
Yeah.
But I know
Right
I know
on.
how vets feel about the word hero.
Yeah. I would have to say, obviously, the rebel, the everyman, and I hate to say, I wouldn't say the hero. I'd probably say the creator.
The creator.
Just yeah.
I think that's fair. I think that you're definitely a visionary. You definitely have expressed that. So is that the order of them? Like the rebel, the everyman, and then the creator? Like it's the
Yeah, I'd put it in those orders.
Okay. So that right there, I mean, what this does, if you've picked these, is it allows you to really hone in on your brand voice. So, and this is for your brand rather than yourself, because like we have a personal brand and we have a a business brand or an artist brand, and those they may be similar, but they're typically different. Like you don't want people to perceive you as a as a rebel in business, necessarily, because it's like, well, I mean, maybe, but it's typically they have slight differences. But this is for the your brand, like which you're actually working with, not only your music, but you're also you have a I don't want to call it a print company because it's not a print company.
Apparel, or
Yes.
whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
So that's actually I'm applying this to that as well.
Yeah.
I got two irons in the fire. So
yeah, which that most of us do have. Multiple. We're not just one single faceted. We have these brands and we have different things that we do and we're interested in that are creative endeavors. So like what I say about this is that the reason that I go over this is so that you have a brand voice, and like so when you attack social media or anything like that and you're really pushing on it, keep these in mind because it'll keep you consistent in your brand and your brand messaging. And that's
right on.
That's why I like to use that one. So I appreciate that.
No worries, brother.
Yo. All right, so let's see here. So there's 9 questions that I like to use to define a brand. So what do you actually make? And a lot of people, and you should be specific. A lot of people, they tend to. they don't really know what it is that they make. Like some people, they'll say some, a long, drawn out brand explanation, when it's really, I mean, just condense it into its most tight form. What would you say that you make?
I make songs for either those that don't fit in, the disenchanted, uh, people, little angry, trying to deal with that, and the people who are trying to deal with the world around them and pretty much don't necessarily know how to do that in the best way. That's the best way I'd explain my shit
That's
is.
I mean, that's pretty accurate and very concise. So I mean, that's a good description. Who's it really for? Do you know their age, their vibe, their lifestyle? Do you know who you're actually trying to reach?
According to Spotify right now, my biggest audience is females from 24 to 38, which is, I thought it was like males in the 50s and 60s, but not really. My female audience has grown significantly in the age groups of 24 to 38 in the past 6 to 12
Hey,
months.
That's crazy to me. That's actually,
Yeah,
that is something that I wouldn't expect, which is really cool.
I know, right? It's not because I don't portray myself as some, you know what I'm saying?
Rico Suave,
Yeah, that's not me, bro.
but hey, evidently they latching on though. So knowing that is
It's
key.
good.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
take what I can get, man.
I'm saying, hey, if you bring in the women, the men will follow. That's an always. That's what
Yeah, and that's
ladies'
something my
night.
wife has to understand is she doesn't like me talking to female fans because she thinks it's like a direct thing of trying to hit on me, but it's not. I'm polite. I'm direct. I'm not in any way inappropriate. I get them followers on my pages, and they're gonna bring the dudes in.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Absolutely gonna bring the dudes in.
That's what ladies' night is all about.
Yep.
All right. So what problem do you solve? Like for those individuals, like what is it that um, what feeling does your art give to them, or what is it that it means? Do you feel?
I think the biggest thing for my shit is to let people know that they're not alone in the way that they feel. If they feel angry, whatever feeling, emotion they're dealing with at the time, and they find my music, I think that maybe it's in a connection that you're not the only one that feels that way.
All right, so
So,
that's
hope,
actually really good. That's actually a really, especially. I mean, I think a lot of people feel alone in this world right now. I think a lot of
oh
people
yeah,
feel like
dude.
they're on an island when they may not really be, but they feel like they are. So it's an important thing to help solve. Um,
Yeah.
Johnny, I just want to throw out there for you, Johnny. Make sure that you're answering these questions because I'm going to come to you for the 10-second, 30-second elevator pitch. So be prepared. Um, so we got let's see. So three adjectives that describe you, like just down to one word, three of them each. Or I'm sorry, three adjectives that describe you, and that's bringing you down to your core.
Me?
Your brand. Sorry, your brand.
Uh, three three words that would define my brand: rebellious. And I hate to say like straight off, but rebellion is a big part of what I do, going against the grain.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, God damn, this is tough.
It is hard.
Uh,
It is hard.
rebellion, connection, and catharsis.
Catharsis. Can you define catharsis for me?
Letting go or getting rid of that negative or whatever energy you're feeling that you need to release. I think hopefully my music, at least I've been told by people who actually like my shit, that it helps them just deal with things, feelings or emotions a little bit easier
I'd say that's fair.
or connect with it.
I'd say
Yeah.
that's fair. That's a great. I mean, it is very difficult to boil your whole, brand existence down to three words, but those really help. Um, what about three feelings that you want to invoke? What do you want people to? How do you want people to feel that are in your audience?
Connection, uh, connection.
And connection, all three.
Yeah, that's it, man. No, connection, uh, um, hope maybe,
Okay.
and uh, God, that's tough. You're asking tough questions,
Yeah,
dude.
this is it's just being as real as possible about where you'd like to be, and we don't think about these things as artists, as creators.
No.
We don't really think about these things, but these are what the other people perceive. Like these are what fans perceive. These are what, and when you move with intention, you end up getting further faster.
Yeah, I agree. So I would say hope, connection, and then again catharsis, because emotional release is what music is all about to me.
Yes, and
Now,
not only I can see that through your apparel brand. Like I've seen the designs and everything, and I can see that just through that. Not only the music. So that's fair to say for both really.
I appreciate that a lot.
And what will you never compromise? What's something that is non-negotiable and it defines your integrity?
I was about to say integrity. That's
That's it.
that's uncompromised, unwavering right there.
Yes.
Uh, I don't know, commitment to values, I guess,
Yeah.
to my values.
Which comes right back. It comes right back to the integrity. So I mean
Yep.
that should be pretty high up on people's list. If it's not the first thing they think of, it should be up there.
Right on.
And what do fans always say about you? What have you heard consistently about you or your brand that from fans?
Um, makes people feel like they're not alone.
So you're actually achieving
That,
the
and that to me means everything.
yes, especially considering your brand. It is very veteran oriented. So that's a very important I'd say service that you're providing. I mean, it's not really a service.
Yeah, belonging, I would guess.
Yeah, dude. It's and if your art was a movie genre, what would it be? That's just for fun.
Movie genre.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, like I would say Homer's Odyssey, transformation.
Homer's Odyssey. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. That's a good one. Hey, I appreciate that. Oh shit, it's going back. It's going back. All right. So I appreciate your answers there because those help us to really define our brand and see where we're not fulfilling that part or where we are actually fulfilling that part. And I'd say that with everything that you provided, you're fulfilling that to a great degree.
I appreciate you, brother.
No thing, brother. I appreciate you. All right, Johnny. All right, we got the 10-second hook. We got a 30-second elevator pitch. You got it ready? I can't see if he's even on yet.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you, eh?
Yeah. Well, yeah, my 10-second pitch is I'm Johnny T. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a future filmmaker, the editor of HODB Maga Media. We operate in travel and events.
Boom, boom. Short, concise, very. That told me exactly what it was. But if I needed a little bit more information, let's say a 30-second, would you be able to do a 30-second for me?
I think in my 30-second pitch, I might speak a little bit about.
Oh, well, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's not pretend. Let's do it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna add. We've recently founded Content House, HODB Maga Media Content House, which is a creators retreat. It brings together content creators, entrepreneurs, filmmakers, fashion designers, models, all together to collaborate and to experience travel and it's an experience platform. I still gotta polish it up a little bit.
Hey, that was right. I mean,
And,
right before then, it was right at 30 seconds. So I mean, you was kicking it in.
Yeah.
And to me that's a great definition or great pitch because like again when we're networking we don't have all day to hit all the different people because at these networking events if you're doing it amongst a large group of people you might have 30 seconds you might have because a lot of times what ends up happening is that we as artists, we don't want to be put into a box, and or creators, we don't want to be put into a box, and so we sit there and we elaborate and say all these things, and we go on for 5-10 minutes, and people are like, all right, yep, that was a lot. Like that's I don't remember anything other than like your name maybe. Like actually that was so long ago I don't remember your name. Like so it's definitely good to have those 10-second, 30-second pitches. I appreciate you, Johnny.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It allows me to see, you know, look at what you just mentioned. That's so important, right? Like, what if I'm in the elevator, like with somebody real significant, a potential investor, somebody that could change my career or my life, right? So, like, we got to be prepared for that.
Absolutely.
So, my question to you is, you know, sometimes things they sound really good, right? What would be, what would you say would be next? Like, would you keep in that 10-second pitch or in that 30-second pitch, like, because you know you don't have that time. You know, you just hit the elevator, and your Jay Z or your 50 Cent or your executive record label or your Chris York of Own Lane is on the elevator. He hits he hits the 30th floor.
Yeah.
You hit like the 15th or 20th floor. I could tell him everything that I do, right? Or I could tell you everything that I do. But I think that I should be preparing to like, hey, this is what I do, but can I get a meeting with you? And I think that that should be in quote. I think that in your 10-second pitch and in your 30-second pitch, the next step should be like incorporated. Like, hey, Chris, you know, I'm Johnny. I'm an entrepreneur, filmmaker, editor of this and that. Hey, man, I need a 15-minute meeting with you because I got the next big thing.
Yes, that's 100%. When you said what should come next, that was my first thought. Is like, what, what can you do? How can you maximize that interaction? And it's to have another interaction. So your real goal is not really just to tell them about you and make it, you know, make it as concise as possible, but it's also to score another chance to give an elongated version or a pitch to them for an idea and or a partnership. So you're absolutely right on that is the next step, and that's something that people should practice. Is the idea of, well, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to just come, like if you're talking to a fan, do you just want, or a potential fan, do you just want them to come to your Instagram and just follow, or do you want them to you know, come to you have a big event happening here locally at some point? Like think about what it is that you want to occur, and then also include that in your pitch time.
You know, you know, and it's the first time that I see this from this angle. Like your 30-second pitch could actually slow you down if like you have this great pitch, but you don't have that next step. Like I'm in the elevator with this exec. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice,
Cool.
Johnny. Thanks. All right, take care, man. Have a good day.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I mean, maximizing. If your pitch is good, then you should have the ability to, you know, you'll have the ability to talk again because they're like, oh, I'm intrigued on that. You did exactly what nobody else does, which is just give me the information I need, and then I'll decide, do I want to talk to you or do I not want to talk to you? Cool, and that's perfect. Um, I appreciate you, Johnny, for helping me out there, and also adding that very important piece to the puzzle there. Um, so the next thing that I want to talk about is protecting your rights, like your copyrights and everything. It's pretty simple and you know, it's not very difficult to protect your rights, like because you have what's called an automatic copyright. A lot of people don't know this, but as soon as you put something out on any platform or any tangible means, then it is actually, you know, like it says, a drawing, a recording, a photo of that thing, then it's automatically copyrighted. Now that is for your life, like your whole lifespan plus 70 years. So that's a very long copyright, right? You don't have to register it, or you don't have to do anything to get that basic level of protection, and you can still send cease and desist letters, which is awesome. The real problem with that, though, is that automatic copyright is weak in court, And so without registration, you're not going to be able to sue for statutory damages or attorney fees. You can only really get damages once you can prove that you lost. So it limits it. Plus, it's going to take a long time. Like, so if I have a copyright already registered, then I can just simply go, okay, hey, cease and desist for one, but then I can say, hey, we're getting into court right now. If you put it to the courts for a copyright, it's going to take about a year to get through court to actually even start the process of monetary regains. So super important that you guys copyright it. The best way to copyright that, whether it's written material or audio, anything like that, you're going to want to go to copyright.gov and just create an account, and then simply just upload the information. It's about $16 to do, but you are fully recognized by the United States government by doing so. So 16 bucks to, now me personally, I say if you're making an album, don't go song by song, do the entire album, because that's 16 bucks for just the album instead of 16 per track. So that's something to say there. And that's the most basic of copyrights. That's the bare minimum that you should be doing. You know, when it comes to your registrations for music specifically, because that's who we're talking about here. So you're going to look at your performance royalties, which is going to be either ASCAP or BMI. I don't use SHxTz, but some people, they really like SHxTz. That's going to make sure that anytime your stuff is played on the radio, on TV, streaming, or even at live venues, that you're covered, that you're getting paid for that specific event. Now you're going to want to sign up as both a writer and a publisher. Like, a lot of people miss out on half of the income because they didn't register as a publisher. If you say are using a distribution service like DistroKid, it's going to give you like, it's going to say, hey, so are you self-publishing? What that really does is it allows them to be the publisher, because you have to have an LLC to be the publisher. In a lot of states, it's very cheap, very efficient to get an LLC for your business. So, I mean, it costs in Florida here, I think it's about 50, it's probably like 75 bucks total. But that creates a bunch of different coverages, a bunch of different benefits, whether it's taxes or whatever. But also, it allows you to collect that other 50% of your performance royalty. So you register, you go in, you register as a writer with that, and then you come in afterwards. Like, normally I'd say about 24 hours, and then you go register as the publisher of that particular product, and you're going to be getting 100% of your actual royalties. Some other things that we look at is you're going to want to digitally your digital performance. So non-interactive digital streams. That means like Pandora radios, Sirius radio, web radio, anything that has to do with the radio, really, where the user is not selecting your song specifically. That's a digital performance, and that's going to be, you're going to want to register at SHxTinz. And SHxTinz is, if I'm not mistaken, SHxTinz is actually free. And it allows you to get those other monies that are out there for you. Another one that you might want to do is Harry Fox Agency. That is free to register. Harry Fox Agency is the one that allows other people to do covers of your music, and you get paid for it because it's registered. That's going to be a very beneficial and, for me, very crucial part of this process. That is going to be all the music registrations. Not all of them, but it's the ones that you're really going to want to hit. That'll cover 95% of your rights or your royalties. So a lot of people think that just because they put out their name out there that it's theirs all of a sudden, and they get mad when somebody pops up with the same name, but they didn't go ahead and trademark it. You know, this is essential. It's something that you have to do. If you don't end up registering your name and your logo, you're going to end up regretting it, because somebody can just come along and they can be you, or they can be they can take your name or your likeness or anything else because you haven't registered it. Now, so the trademark, to trademark your name, so you're going to want to go to the US, it's uspto.gov, and then you're going to go to the test tab, and then you're going to search for a logo and a name to make sure that nobody else has it. That's something that a lot of people miss as well. You know, make sure it's not already out there. Now you're going to file for the intent of use, before you finalize your logo, which it does cost $250 to $350 per class, and those classes are say in Bob's case, where he's not only in the music industry, but he's also in the apparel industry. Those are two separate classes. So if he had the same name for each, which I know he doesn't, but if he had the same name for each, you would have to register each class, and that can be, although it can be costly, it's even more costly if you don't do it in the long term, because somebody else is just going to take your IP and do whatever they want with it. And that's right. It is worth it because you're building something that's real. Brand matters, and a growing business is, stopped in its tracks if somebody gets litigious with you, if somebody starts suing you over that. So the paperwork. So this is the other part that I like to mention when it comes to trademarks and legalities and things, which is the paperwork holy trinity. These 3 documents are going to be 90%. They're going to prevent 90% of your legal disputes. So you want to get them in writing every single time. So for every collaboration, every beat, every feature, define your ownership percentages. That's a split sheet. So split sheets, they're available on OwnLane under the contract section. You can just simply print it out and have them sign it right then and there. When you're creating it, don't leave the studio. I mean, you could start with it if you wanted to, but don't leave the studio without getting them to sign that split sheet. That's going to be, you need to have the song's name, the date, the contributors, and their ownership percentages. And that just says, hey, this is what it is. Like, when it comes out, this is where we're at. Very important stuff. Also, if you guys are using samples, a lot of people do use samples, whether it's from a sample pack, which a lot of people think that you can just use it. You can't. You need to make sure you get your sample clearances, get permission in writing. So the chain of title matters. You need to have your rights holder contact. You need to have the license terms, meaning that you can use it for this long or this amount of streams, whatever it is. If there's any payment, that needs to be there, and also, of course, signatures. The last part there is the written licenses. So like any license, which is like merch, sync, fan art, you're gonna want to get that in writing as well. And that's if you want to use someone else's, or if they want to use yours. This is something that is it's something that you really can't argue with. It's required. And like I said, this is gonna if you do those 3 things with your art, you're gonna get rid of 90% of the legal disputes that are out there. Mainly the split sheet. I mean, that one is really, really important. If you guys are collaborating, make sure that you guys know what it is that you're getting out of that. All right, so to bring it down to, I think this is the next to last slide here. So certain ways that you can monetize your art. We got income streams. We're gonna want to have strong branding that increases the revenue across all of your categories. Multiple streams create stability. We mentioned finance earlier in the lecture, and it's pretty much just, there's a lot of different ways for you guys to make money off of your art. So let's make sure that we're doing everything that we can to not only, we all want to stop working the 9 to 5, and we want to work, we want to do just this. So direct sales. So that's your original artwork, your prints, your digital downloads, commissioned pieces, or they have the highest profit margin. So if your music is available on Spotify, on YouTube and things like that, you're not making the most for it because you're not directly selling it to the fans. OwnLane does allow for this, so you might consider that. Merchandise, I say that it is so crucial to have merchandise. That's apparel, that's accessories, that's home goods featuring your art or your name, physical and print on demand. Me personally, I am a big fan of apparel. I will say that when it comes to apparel, t-shirts are not necessarily your best bet. They're what we all think of, but I have a closet full of band shirts, of tour shirts, and things like that. Like, I don't need any more shirts, but you know what I will do? I'll do a hoodie. I'll do even a beanie, or like in the case of Karina Marie, her logo is lips, and so she's doing throw pillows like with those lips.
If I can have an input too,
you can always have
t-shirts aren't seen as much in the winter, and every other bloody season there is. Like here in Australia, good luck seeing someone in a t-shirt. Like, here we would most likely be in a t-shirt, but 90% of blokes down here don't even wear a shirt. They barely even wear a singlet. We're all in this freaking skins, mate. You know what I mean? So, like, if we're being fairly honest, like, you got to kind of think it all through. You're like, if they're not even wearing a top, what are they going to be wearing? Well, if it's hot and it's that hot, hat.
Yep. Anything that's
sunglasses, bloody dog tags, for God's sakes.
Absolutely. People love, I'm not going to lie, people love the dog tags for all types of reasons.
Man, I was never a big fan, but I don't wear chains anymore. It's all dog tags. It suits every outfit, I reckon. So, yeah, definitely agree. Anyways, I'll let you back to it. Sorry,
no, I appreciate
just thought I'd done man brought.
No, I love the input. I'll also say that there was a band where it's a joke band. I mean, they're a real band, but they are constantly they're constantly having a specific type of joke. Their name is Bro Job.
So they just make dildos.
Essentially, they do condoms.
That's funny as. That's funny.
They do a bunch of condoms. And it's just
condoms.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better. That's actually smart as fuck.
I'm saying, it's a bunch of.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
good. That's good.
Ones?
That's really good.
The KFC ones, and it hasn't got KFC, but it's finger licking good.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, think outside of the box. Smart. Think about. I went to a metal show, and they were selling. Not only did they have koozies, which had like really just comical things. Like they're from Wisconsin. They're like Wisconsin serial killers and cheese. Like it's like that it was comical. It made me want to grab it. Also, the same band, they were from Texas, and they were like they had their own barbecue sauce. Like what the who's going to a concert for barbecue sauce? But they were selling the shit out of them because they were like giving free samples and shit. Like, hey, it doesn't matter what it is. Think outside of the box for your merchandise because it really does matter. Like, people don't need another t-shirt, even though sometimes, I mean, shit, if it's a cool t-shirt or I really enjoy the band, absolutely. So some of the other things that we can do, though, is we can actually license our music to TV, to film, video games. High-paying sync licenses are everywhere. Like, a lot. You've heard it a lot in the past year or so about sync licensing, but it's really not hard to get in with. You get in with a music manager, and you're going to end up starting to build a catalog. Some of these, not even some of these, a lot of these are $20,000 to be able to use your music, $50,000 to be able to use your music. So really, I mean, looking into those avenues, crucial. We also have live performances, of course. That's what the music industry is based on. I mean, we should be pushing live performance all day, every day. Gigs, concerts, festivals, especially. Speaking engagements for people like Johnny that have a lot of information to provide. Those are a huge income source. Teaching in the same sense. Workshops, online courses, private lessons. Monetize your expertise. Like whatever you're good at, there's always going to be somebody that is not good at that thing that would love to hear from you. Streaming, of course, is a way to do it. I'm not a big fan of Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube in the sense of like for the creator. For the fans, absolutely, they're awesome. But for the creator,
can I point something out too?
Sure.
One thing I've noticed with artists that pop off heaps, right? They'll make a slogan spelling their name.
Yep.
Like what's his name? Mike Jones, I think it is.
Who?
He has that number, and people still to this day call it.
Not only that, but he had the best. I mean, that's the best possible thing. Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Who? Like asking who because they will not know who you are at first, and then saying,
yeah.
And that being your call. I mean, come on, that's great marketing.
100. That's smart as.
It
but
really
like,
is.
that's kind of what I do. Like it's the K to the I to the NG, B to the S to the GOT, B to the A to the R to the Z. King B's got bars and he back in the scene.
I don't know how to spell.
Well, that's why you call 1-300-65506.
Is that a thing?
I don't know if y'all have that over there. Do
We
you just
don't.
have that over there?
We do not.
It used to be a number for people to call if they couldn't spell, if they were dyslexic,
But we
illiterate,
do
or
have
whatever.
J.G. Wentworth.
and it was literally 130065506. It's like the only number I'll ever remember.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that's
And it's
crucial.
because they made it catchy and they sung it.
And that's another part when it comes to branding and things like that. Like, if you have the ability to offset people's expectations or to get in their memory, one, jingles, that's the reason that they're popular. Like, JG Wentworth crushed it. Like, there's actual rap remixes of his shit. Like, there's with me personally, when I was doing cleaning, we owned a cleaning company, and the number one thing I went and called, I did market research, called up all the brands, called up all of the condos that I wanted to get in with, and said, what is it that you don't like about current cleaners? And every single one of them said the same two things. They said, one, they show up and they look like they just either came up off the beach, or they're not professional looking. They look kind of like they just brought their home clothes. And then two, that they're never on time. They're never on time. They're always late. They never get it done, blah, blah, blah. So when it came to naming my business, I named it On Time Professional Cleaning. And it took out all of the angst that they had already to answer two of their biggest problems, and it got us contracts worth quite a bit of money. I mean, we got our first contract was $250,000. So just being able to take that out, like, we didn't have the employees at the time when we got that contract. For 87 rooms, it was like, all right, well, we're gonna need some employees. We had to hire up 16 employees and make sure that they stayed going. So your name can be a lot of that, or your logo or slogan can ease some of those either tensions or get attention. And then commissions, I haven't personally been able to do any commissions, but if you do, custom work for clients, brands, or individuals, that's premium pricing. Like, if you have the ability to do that, okay, sure, run it. Like, that's money. The power of branding is, like, it's a strong brand equals higher prices. So the more streams, the better listening deals and loyalty you end up receiving. Your brand is going to increase the value across every income stream simultaneously, because it's, as your brand goes up, your value goes up, your perceived value goes up, which is intrinsic value. And the last thing here is going to be, recap on your action plan. So the last thing that I wanted to cover was the recap on your action plan, and that is to say that you now have the knowledge. So here's your roadmap to into results. So first, after doing that self-assessment, identify the gaps between where you are and where you want to be, and really focus on those over this next year. Really go, what do I need to do to improve this number to that number? If it's all the way across the board, like, you've got a lot of work to do. I personally say pick two of those things that you find the most important, and really put your energy into them. The brand archetype defined, again, if you guys can, and if you guys go back and you look over the different archetypes, that's going to help you to drive your artistic brand. So it's going to help you to really position yourself. And then, answering those brand questions again, like going through and saying, all of those different questions that we had. That's going to be the best way for you guys to really put it into perspective for yourselves. Other than that, like, I'll open it up for questions, and if we don't have any questions, then we'll be good to go.
Do you like math? No, I'm kidding. Nah, it's pretty solid on the explanation.
What did I miss?
Stop messing.
Yeah, I don't really have any questions. I just want to say this was really good, man. I think this is really good to keep things fresh and remind us of a lot of the stuff that we need to focus on, like you said, going into the next year, into this year rather, and get her done, bro. Let's get her done. Let's make big number go bigger.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely. And I'm going to be giving you guys the biggest resource that I can personally do, which is ownlane.com, OWNLN. This class will be up for about 48 hours here, and then it's going to be.
Bro, that shit'll kill you.
What? I know, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna end it here. We came in right at an hour, so freaking perfect, man. This worked out really well.
Perfect.
I'm gonna
Dude, this was a great idea, Chris.
Hey, I appreciate it. Like, we're gonna be doing it every week. I'm gonna be doing it every Friday night. I'm gonna go ahead and give new lessons, new information, and we're just gonna be pushing through the year. Because this is part of my growth and part of my personal growth as well as my brand. Going, what do I need to do?
Saturday?
Well, Saturday for you.
You mean Saturday lunchtime?
You bunch of down under fuckers.
No, hey, we get the sun first, so it's actually Saturday lunchtime. We get the
King
sun
B,
first.
there's another guy that has my name that lives in Melbourne. You need to go find him. He's cool as
Kick
fuck.
his ass. Oh, I made my bad.
What's his name?
Rob Reardon.
Oh, word?
Yeah, right.
You got first and last?
Yeah, same. He spells it